Hello, my name is Lily Jensen, and this is my final video project. Firstly, I'd like to clarify that the birds from this study are not actually mean. I felt that the Mean Girls burn book was a topical theme for my presentation because the study I decided to work on focuses on the effects of social stratification on genetic structure. The paper I chose to talk about is called Extreme Genetic Structure in a Social Bird Species Despite High Dispersal Capacity, which is a pretty lengthy title, so let's break it down. The bird species they're talking about is called the red-billed cough from the corvid family. Some of the more well-known birds from this family would be things like crows or ravens, and in general, these species of birds are famous for their intelligence. The extreme genetic structure they are referring to means that there is a lot of genetic differentiation between populations. And finally, the high dispersal capacity means that these birds have a lot of opportunities to reproduce with different populations and increase gene flow. The fact that these birds had such high potential for dispersal, but instead maintain an extreme genetic structure, is what led to the completion of this study. Researchers wanted to find out whether there were extenuating circumstances causing this structure, or if there really were social mechanisms akin to those of mammals causing these divides. The hypothesis for this study was that an unprecedented level of genetic structure in red-billed coughs was caused by intrinsic factors like social behavior rather than geographical and environmental barriers. The researchers needed to rule out other potential factors inhibiting gene flow in order to demonstrate the influence of social factors on such a large scale. The first component of the study was proving that there were marked levels of genetic structure in the sample populations. The figure on this slide depicts the results of the genetic structure tests among the Iberian cough populations. Part A shows a map of the cough distribution range, with the numbered circles proportional to the sample size, and with colors corresponding to the genetic clusters in Part B of the figure. Similarly, Part B is a visual of the genetic structure results generated by the microsatellite data. This figure was critical for the study because the researchers couldn't prove that complex social patterns were the cause for genetic structure without first proving that there was significant genetic structure at all. After they had shown that there was significant genetic structure, a majority of the results for this study were focused on eliminating other potential causes for genetic structure in these bird populations. This elimination of other causes could then be used to indicate that social factors were the actual source for the genetic structure in these corvids. Some of the eliminated sources include population bottlenecks, geographic isolation, and low dispersal capacity. The main takeaways from this paper were that the results of the study ended up supporting the hypothesis that social factors were causing large-scale population divergence in red-billed coughs, and that mammals like humans and chimps are not the only organisms capable of social organization. This study also opens up future pathways for research about what other organisms have complex social structures affecting their population genetics. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you find corvids a little more interesting now than you did 4 minutes ago.